Hi everyone!
Hello!
Today we are playing Essence, The Grim Expeditions by Florian Fiedler, which is currently on Gamefound. I think it's delivering right now, but it will be on late pledge, so if you like what you see here today, you can definitely find the game for you. It is a print and play game. It's a dungeon crawl. We have our characters here, we have the dungeon, we have monsters, everything that you would expect to find in a dungeon crawl. It is not a roll and write game, even though we do sometimes during the level up mark some things on the pages. You don't really write anything throughout the gameplay. Today's video is gonna be a teach and full playthrough of the sewers scenario. The game comes with multiple scenarios, they have different difficulty levels, and you can play them back to back and keep your characters growing and gaining XP and level so that you can turn it into a campaign game. But today we will only see this run. We also have a couple more characters here on the side. As you can see, they have different roles to fulfill within a group, but we have chosen to play the Dreadnought and the Conduit. The Dreadnought is kind of a tank character and the Conduit is a mage, wizard, spellcaster of sorts. As usual, I will go through the basic flow of the game before we start, and then we will go through the details as everything comes up during the gameplay. First off, we have the run, or the scenario. We have a little token down here at the start point, and during the game we move one step at a time, choosing which path we want to take in order to reach the final boss and hopefully defeat it. So we have the token here to mark our steps throughout the dungeon. You can imagine those as rooms, and each one of them has a different symbol on it, which means a different thing you will encounter within the room or the node. Next up, we have the two characters. They are very similar to each other in the basic stuff, but they are also very different in the role they play and the abilities they can do. We have XP. We gather those and spend those to level up both our abilities and our character as a whole. We have Essence. That's the name of the game, and the resource we are using to gain back health and focus. We have hit points, standard stuff. You have a maximum amount of hit points and you mark down the damage you take throughout the game. Focus or mana or energy, you may have heard it with different names, but it always does the same thing. You power up your abilities by using focus. Barrier is one type of damage absorption element. So when you take damage and you have an amount of barrier, you can soak it up and not take the whole amount on your hit points. Armor does kind of the same thing, only for physical attacks, and does not get absorbed or used up. It is there for you forever. Hope, exactly the same as armor, but for magical attacks and spells. Conditions, poison, stun, and wound. We'll see how those work. And then we have the three attributes of the character: strength, intelligence, and agility. The game is played with D8 dice. We have 3 of those currently, and as you can see here, some values of the D8s correspond to different attributes, so we will turn those into action points and then we will use them to power up our abilities. Every character has an innate ability, which is kind of a passive. It gets activated whenever you do a certain thing. And then down here we have the big main abilities of the character that are tied to their main attribute. Mine is intelligence. And the two side main abilities that are powered by the off attributes, strength and agility, the non-main attribute for the hero. And finally, down here we have a focus ability. It is a little bit of extra thing that you can do during your turn, in addition to a main action. Again, it's different for each hero. Similarly, we have the monsters up here. These are the specific monsters we will encounter in this specific run, so they're not always the same for each of the scenarios. We have the sewer rats that are the easiest and simplest minion that we will encounter. They usually come in swarms. We have another 2 monsters that we will find along the way, and then we finally have the Sludge Lord that is the boss for this run. The monsters work in a similar way as the heroes, but they are simpler. They have hit points, armor, hope. They can get conditions from us, like poison, stun, and wounds. They have some action points to spend that, as you can see here, go up the higher level the monster is and the stronger it gets. Some of them have special abilities that activate at some point or when they die. And then down here are the abilities that they can do against us. Most things within the game are done and activated by D8 dice, so we have a bunch of them, 3 for each character and some extra dice here in the middle for other stuff. With that being said, I think we are ready to begin. To start the game, we move up 1 step. We don't have a choice here, we just simply step into the first node here, and this symbol corresponds to this area up here, which means that we get ambushed by rats. The amount of rats depends on a D8 roll, so we take the D8, roll it, and see how many rats will spawn. Currently we have 2 rats. The Sigma, Greek sigma, here means the amount of players. So since we are 2 players, we currently have 2 rats spawning. If I had rolled something higher on the d8, we would have more rats spawning. The rats up here on the paper are identical, so we can use whichever 2 we want. Let's use those because I'm the one showing the rules. So we have these 2 rats activating, and rats as a creature have ambush, which we see here and with the exclamation mark on their own sheet. Ambush means that they get to activate before anything else happens. For a monster to activate, first we need to see which target they will pick. To do that, we just roll a die of our choice. We choose any way to randomize the target of the creature. In this situation, we can just roll a die and say that the odd numbers will be Spyros and the even numbers will be me. So, roll the die. Odd means that this rat will target Spyros, so we take one of his colored cubes and place it on the target space up here as a reminder. And then the other one will target me, so I take one of my colored cubes and place it up here. So now we know that this rat targets the dreadnought and this rat targets the conduit. Each rat also has 3 hit points. It's the maximum amount and the current amount because they spawn at maximum hit points. And each one of them has 1 action point that they will spend immediately to attack us. We always start from left to right. So we spend the action point of the first rat and it targets Spyros. So you should do the honors of rolling the d8 and see what it does.
Okay. Low.
Nice. It's a 3, which means that we go down here to this table and find the 3, which is between the 2 and the 5, which means that the rat does the scratch ability, that is 1 damage, and it is piercing damage, which is pure damage and cannot be blocked by hope or armor. So you take 1 damage. And I just noticed that we forgot to place our initial cubes and do the setup of the game. These cubes are placed on the maximum amount of the essence, hit points, and focus, because these are the abilities that go up and down throughout the game without affecting the maximum amount. And we also have an extra cube for the barrier, because that also gets added and consumed throughout the game. Personally, I will also have 1 down here, because there is a special ability of the conduit. So that should have been the setup of the game before we begin. And now you take 1 damage, which means...
Go from 13 to 12.
And the maximum hit points are still 13, but his current hit points are 12. Moving on to the second rat, it spends 1 action point to do an attack on me. I rolled a 5, so that's also 1 damage to me, the scratch ability, so from 9 I go down to 8. That was the ambush round of the rats, and now we start the normal rotation of combat. To start a round of combat, first we choose the targets of the monsters, the same way we did before, but they may change from round to round and from the ambush round to the normal round. So again, roll a die for the left rat. It's a 2, so that's me.
Yes.
And the 6. Oh, nice tank you are.
Yes.
And they replenish their 1 action point. During a normal round of combat, though, it's the heroes that always act first. They act first as a team, but within the team, you can choose whichever hero you want to go first and second and so on. To start our combat round, we first roll the d8s. We have 3 because we are level 1 and the amount of dice you roll depends on your level. So we have a pool of 3 d8s. Now, based on the values of the dice we have rolled, we gain action points that correspond to one of the 3 attributes. Based on this table here, my 6s could be assigned to either intelligence or agility, but since intelligence is my main attribute, I will put those both on the intelligence attribute. My 7 can currently be assigned only on the agility attribute, so I'll place this down here. Keep in mind that those can be changed and improved as you level up your character and improve your abilities. But for now, this is what we have.
Okay, for me, I don't have any options. The 2 is going to agility. I have options here for the 6, but I will go for the strength, and 8 goes for the intelligence.
You can see that the attributes are located differently because for the dreadnought, the strength is the strongest attribute, so it goes in the middle. Now we can choose either one of us to go first. Do you have a preference?
I don't mind.
Okay, I'll go first then.
Okay.
During our turn, we can spend as many action points as we want to perform one main ability and optionally one focus ability. My focus ability says that I can spend one action point of any type and 2 focus to gain 1 ice shard. So I'll do that with the 7. I'll take it out because I've spent it and spend 2 focus to gain 1 ice shard. This is a special ability of the conduit, and it means that for the whole duration of this combat, any ability I use will do 1 extra damage. That can be improved by leveling up, but currently it's 1 damage. With that in mind, I can now use either 1 or 2 dice to cast any one of those spells. Using more dice improves the value of your D8. As you can see here, if you only spend 1 action point, 1 die, you just roll the D8 and take the value. If you spend 2, there is a +4, and if you spend 3, there is a +8 to the modifier, and the stronger the value you roll is, the stronger the spell gets. The 2 spells, as you can see, are similar but not exactly the same, obviously. This one does more damage, but it has less chances to activate special things. This can turn into an AoE, and since we now have 2 rats, I will choose to do an Ice Nova by spending both of my action points to make it stronger. That still counts as 1 main ability. It is just a stronger main ability. So I roll a d8 and add +4 to that, and I hope to end up in the final bracket down here, do an AoE, do a lot of damage. So let's see. Excellent. It's a 6 plus 4, 10. That's 9+, which means that my spell does 3 damage, +1 from the ice shard, 4, and it's an AoE. Also, I should have probably chosen one of the targets before I do that, but they are identical and they do have the same target currently, so it didn't really matter. But since it is an AoE, area of effect, it hits both of them and it does 4 damage, reduced by 1 because they have 1 hope, 3, but they have a total of 3 hit points each, which means that they are both defeated instantly. The asterisk here on the side means that I could also activate this, which says that I can pay up to my level of focus, which means 1 focus, to get 1 barrier for each focus spent. So 1 focus for 1 barrier, but I don't know if we'll have any more monsters. We will roll something for the rat, so I won't risk that. I'll stay as I am, I don't spend any focus, and I do get 1 focus back because the innate ability of the conduit says whenever the conduit casts a spell, gain a focus. With me done, we move on to see what happens to the rats. Rats have an ability that activates whenever they die, and it means that we roll a d8, and if we roll a 1, 2, 3, a new rat spawns. If we roll a 4+, nothing happens. So there is a chance that both of them will respawn. We roll for each one of them separately, so let's roll for the first one. We rolled a 3, which means that a new rat will spawn because this one died. So let's say that we have this one active again for now. They don't have a target. And then we roll for the second one. I'm supposed to trust you to roll high though.
Yeah, I will.
On the verge, but okay, good enough.
It worked.
So this one doesn't respawn. We take these out and we currently have 1 rat active. This rat also has ambush though, so it activates immediately. And first we have to choose a target for it. I will roll this time.
Okay.
Excellent, it's on you. And it immediately attacks, so roll the d8 for yourself though.
Okay, low.
Low enough.
Okay.
You take 1 damage as you did before.
Okay, I take 1 damage.
That's the rat ambush activated, and now we had stopped our hero's turn in the middle. I had done my turn, so you can take your turn now.
On both times that I took damage, my innate ability is to take a focus when I take damage, but I'm already at 4 at capped, so I didn't take any extra focus. So I will continue with my actions, and I think, first of all, I will use my intelligence for that ability, the block, and I will get 2 on the barrier.
It does say that you spend 1 strength action point to get your level +1, so 1 + 1, 2 barrier. 1 per turn. Mine is with strength, the Dreadnought's is with intelligence.
Okay.
Normally, that's your turn done, I guess, because you did 1 main ability, but the rat spent all its action points with the ambush within the round, So technically, no monsters and no other hero has action points, so you just keep taking turns until everyone runs out of action points and the round ends.
Okay, I will do my strength ability, the Dread Sweep, and attack with one action point and attack the rat.
Roll 5+. That was
Nice.
a 5+.
Okay, so I do 4 damage.
Okay.
So
This is physical damage, so the hop doesn't activate it. It would activate if it was armor. So it's, how much did you say? 4 damage?
4 damage, yes.
For a total of 3 that the rat has, so it dies. But again, we have to roll to see if this ability will get activated or not. And it doesn't. So that means that no new rat spawns and the combat is over. Do you have anything else to do with your agility?
It's only 1 extra damage.
Okay, so we have no
nothing.
targets.
Yes.
Okay, nice. So that was a whole combat against a bunch of rats. Because we successfully completed the combat, we get 2 XP, which we mark on our character sheets with pencil up here to mark that we have 2 XP, and you do yours as well. But we also add a cube because XP work in 2 ways. You can spend your XP to level up your abilities throughout a run, but as soon as you have 15 XP total experience points, you can also level up your character as a whole. This is independent of the amount of the XP you have spent already to level up your abilities. So there are 2 types of XP, the permanent ones that are marked with the pencil and the ones that you can spend to level up your abilities. They work independently from each other. So we both get 2 permanent XPs and 2 that we can spend, plus 1 essence. So we take 1 more essence. The bold number here for essence is not the maximum amount you can hold, it's the initial amount that you start the game with, so we can go up to 6. We are ready to move on to the next node, but in between nodes, we are allowed to spend our essence, if we want, to get one of these 3 things. So for 1 essence, I can either get 3 hit points and 1 focus, 2 hit points and 2 focus, or 1 hit point and 3 focus. None of those would be completely beneficial for me, so I don't want to do that.
I will risk it and use my essence to full health.
Okay. You can't get any focus because you're...
Yes.
Okay. The other thing we do in between nodes is to reset the ice shard for me, and both of us reset the barrier value. And now we are ready to move on to the next node. As you can see here, we have a split path, which means that we can choose either to get to the unknown node here, which has 3 options that are randomized, or choose to go to an obstacle. We will choose to go to the obstacle. To resolve an obstacle, we look at this table down here. First of all, we have to see which one of the 3 attributes we will have to use to overcome the obstacle. That's done by rolling a d8 and getting a random result. 6 means that we will have to overcome the obstacle with the use of intelligence action points. That's kind of good because I use intelligence as my main attribute. So, we now know that we need 9 intelligence action points to overcome the obstacle. That's why we have a d10 here to mark that it has 9 charges, uses left. And to do the obstacle, we kind of work in the same way as we do in combat, which means that we both roll the 3 dice. We assign them to action points normally. So I have a 2 that goes to the strength. I have a 5 and a 6 that I will put into the intelligence.
I have 1 that does nothing.
1, both for the heroes and the monsters, is always a miss, a void, so it never does anything.
And I have a 2 and a 3. The 2 goes to agility, and I will assign the 3 for the strength.
First off, we have 2 intelligence action points that we spend to turn this down to a 7, which means that we have now met 2 of the 9 action point requirements in order to overcome the obstacle. Then we can still use those dice to do other things if they are relevant and beneficial for the situation. I have 1 strength action point here that I can turn into 2 barrier, which I'll do because there is a chance that we will take damage from the obstacle.
And for me, with the 2, I have the option only to attack a monster, so I can't do anything. And with the 3, I can roll it for the plate bound and get some barrier.
Oh, nice. That's a defensive ability.
Yes. So I will roll.
An 8.
An 8. Okay. So with an 8, I get 6 barriers.
Wow. That's a lot.
Yes.
Nice. That's why you're a tank.
Yes.
Now that we're done with our action points, we check to see if we have overcome the obstacle, which we haven't. We still have 7 action points to do. Since we haven't, we roll a d8 to see what happens because we haven't. Do we need a low or high? A low roll, I guess.
Yes.
They're all bad.
Yeah.
A 3. A 3 means it's called time is running and every hero loses 1 essence. That's sad. And we repeat this process until the obstacle is overcome. So, roll the dice again. I rolled a 1.
I roll so bad.
I'm not great either this time around. I have a 1 that does nothing. I have a 6 that turns this down to a 6. Where is it? And finally, I have 1 strength that I will use to gain 2 barrier.
For me, it's 2
Oh,
ones.
wow.
Yes. And the 2 is just the agility ability, so that's nothing. That's it for me.
The tank went AFK for this turn. And we roll to see what happens with the obstacle. A 5, ouch! 2 piercing pure damage to each hero. This cannot be reduced by either armor or hope, but it can be absorbed by the barrier, so we take 2 damage on our barrier each, which is kind of nice because we don't get the damage on our hit points.
Nice.
And now we are ready to just roll again and roll better this time.
Okay.
What the... A 1 that does nothing, a 2 that goes to my strength, a 7 that goes to my agility. So I use the 2 to get to barrier, and the 7 is the agility ability, which is to spend 1 agility action point to get my level's worth of focus, which is 1. So I max out on my focus for the future.
I rolled the 1 again, nothing, a 2, nothing, and I will roll the 5 just to see if I can upgrade my barrier again. 7, so it's another 6.
We have probably completely missed the point of the obstacle,
yes.
though.
We'll
We'll get there.
Yes.
At 2, we lose another essence. We'll probably die from that. Do we die if we run out of essence,
Yes.
not just hit points?
No. And essence is a game end.
So we'd better not lose another one before... Nice. You are in danger.
Yeah.
Ah, nice.
I roll a 7.
Okay.
Okay.
I didn't roll well. Well enough, at least. Okay, I do have 1. Do you have any?
I have 2.
So it's 3 total, so 6 goes down to 3. Well done.
Yeah.
Okay, and the 2 2s I can spend for strength to get 4 barrier. And now we roll and hope for not a 1, 2, 3.
Yes. 5.
Okay. That's good. It gets absorbed by the barrier. Okay, and
Continue.
let's do better this time.
Go.
We can do this. Or not. Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
3 successes.
Wow. I think you did better on the intelligence barrier obstacle than me, though.
Can you see?
Do we get anything other permanent? I don't think so.
Not me.
I have 1 intelligence, 1 agility that is for focus, which I maxed out, and the barrier anyway goes down at the end of the node.
Yes.
So with the 3 plus 1, I think it was 4 successes on the intelligence, the barrier runs out to 0, so it is overcome, so we don't have to roll again. Everything resets, the barrier basically, not everything else.
And your ability, but you haven't.
Yeah, I didn't use it, yeah. And now we get 2 XP. Disaster. So we're up to 4. And we each get 2 essence, which it seems like you needed.
Yes. Nice.
Great. We've reset everything and we are ready to move on. To move on, now we have 2 choices again. One of them is to run into rats, and the other is to go to the loot chest. And let's be honest, where would you go?
To the loot chest.
There we go. The loot chest is a simple roll that you just get whatever comes out of the chest. And I think most of them are good, but there is a chance that we'll run into a trap and get ambushed or get damaged. As is usual with loot chests in dungeons.
Yes.
Should I roll? We need to roll high, so you should roll.
Yes, okay.
It is our way of cheating in games without breaking the rules. When we need to roll high, Spyros rolls. When we need to roll low, I roll. So it's legal, but...
Yes!
That's what we mean.
Magic.
Magic. So, okay, that's good. Rusty remains. It means that we can spend 2 XP to gain either 1 hope or 1 armor. And we'll definitely do that. I will, at least.
Yes, me too. I think I will get a hope.
Yeah, most of these seem to be spells. So hope seems like the better choice here. And that's the loot chest done. But now we only have 1 choice, and that is to run into one of these up here, which are monsters that are spawning by themselves and are harder to defeat than sewer rats. And it's either the Acidic Ooze or the Essence Eater. Let's see. Okay, so the monsters here, that is this symbol, say to roll a d8, and if we get a 1 to 6, we face an Acidic Ooze. If it is a 7+, so it's 2 out of 8, chances to get an Essence Eater. So I should probably roll this.
Yes.
I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Excellent. So it's an Acidic Ooze, which is this one. Let's clear this place a little bit. First off, it has 8 hit points. That's a lot. It has 2 armor, so it absorbs your physical attacks.
Yes.
And 1 hope, so it also absorbs my spells, but by a lower number. That's for the conditions. It has 2 action points now. When it dies, it might get a chance to poison one of us, the target. It's a 50-50 chance. And then it can spend its action points to do these things down here that are magical damage. It can heal itself or stun one of us. Let's see what happens.
Yes.
It does not have ambush, so we start the first combat round normally by first choosing the target for the Acidic Ooze, as we always did. That's an 8, that's me.
Yes.
I should... Why do we have a tank here? I don't know. And then we get our turns first.
Yes.
Assign the dice to the corresponding action points. What did I roll?
Yeah, I didn't roll good.
Okay, should I go?
Yes.
Okay. I have 2 agility action points here that would give me focus, but I'm already maxed out. So instead, I will invest in the future of this combat by spending... I can do both of them at the same turn though. So I will spend 1 of them as an action point, and I will also spend 2 focus to get 1 ice shard, which will do more damage later on with my spells. I would like to hold this for a much stronger spell for the future, but I do have to do a main action for the turn. So I'll spend the 4 to do... We don't have a second monster here, so AoE is not as strong. So I go for the Entropic Bolt. I roll the d8, and it's whatever I roll. That's an 8. Nice. So that's 3 + 1, 4 damage. Reduced by 1 because it has 1 hope. Mm-hmm. That's 3 damage.
Yes, excellent.
Okay, that was great.
And you get a focus back.
Yeah, because I cast a spell. Thank you. Nice.
So it's me. The one does nothing. I have 2 8s. Goes on the intelligence.
It seems that you are very smart, though.
Yes.
Well done.
Well, can you see the head?
Well, you should... Not really.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But you shouldn't judge a character by its appearance, though.
True. So I have only 1 option to spend my first 8 for this ability, the block, and get to barrier.
You're taking your tanking role very seriously, even though it targets me, though.
Well, my ability is to tank, not to
The
kill.
barrier is probably me in front of you. That's how you absorb damage.
True.
Okay, so now it's time for the Acidic Ooze to take its turn. But because it has 2 action points, we first have to see if it will spend both of them in 1 turn, or one of them to begin with. And we do that by just randomizing the situation. We roll a die. Let's say that odd is 1 action point and even is 2 action points. Okay, an even number means that it spends both its action points now, so it will do a stronger ability now, but it will not take another turn. And to see what its spell does, we roll a d8 and add a +4, because it spent 2 action points on this spell.
You should roll.
Yeah, now you should roll. It's a 3 + 4 is 7, which means that I get 3 spell damage and I have 2 hope, so that's 1 damage that goes through. And then it activates its asterisk ability here that says heals itself by 2. Well done. Goes back up to 7. It's eating me.
We will kill it next round.
Yeah. Okay, so that goes back to us. I have another 8, which I will use as a main action this turn to get back 1 focus. And that's me.
And for me it's the same, so I will get another 2 barrier.
Okay. A new round begins. We have to first see who the Acidic Ooze will target for this round. I will roll.
Okay.
Yes. That's you. Excellent.
Yes, at last.
Okay, we figured it out though. That's what we'll do from now on.
Okay.
It gets back its action points and we roll the dice to get ours back. What's with the 8s?
Yes.
Okay, a 3 here. Shall I go?
Yes.
Okay, the 8s are down here. I will spend 1 of the 8s to spend 2 focus as well and get 1 more ice shard. And then with my 3, I will do another entropic bolt. The d8. That's a 5. So that's here, it's 3, but now it is a 3 + 2 for 5 damage. -1 is 4 damage. So it goes down to 3. And I get a focus back because I cast a spell.
Okay, so it's my turn. The 2 goes to the agility, the 4 goes to my strength, and the 8 goes to my intelligence. So I will try with my 4 at the beginning to do an attack, a dread sweep. Let's go 8.
8. Almost.
Okay, not good. So I just do 2 damage, so it's nothing.
Oh yeah, it gets absorbed by the armor. You're not very good at this thing.
It's slimy.
Okay. Also, I don't think I mentioned that we look at this first column here because currently our spells and physical actions are at level 1. But if we level this up, it will get stronger as the game progresses. So now the Acidic Ooze takes its turn and you should roll to see if it will spend both its action points or not. 6, so both action points.
Okay.
And you roll to see what happens. A 1. That normally wouldn't do anything, but since it spent both its action points, the 1 turns into a 5. So with the 5, it does 3 damage, spell damage.
Okay, I have 1 hope, so it's 2 damage, and the 2 rest will go to the barrier.
Yeah, okay, nice. So you don't get any damage, really. But it does heal back up to 5.
Okay.
I see a pattern here. Now I will spend, as before, this one to get back to full focus.
Okay, I will use my agility ability, the scrap, and do 1 piercing damage. Yes.
So that overcomes both armor and hope. It goes straight through.
And the 8 to get another 2 barrier.
Okay, nice. Another round of combat begins. We roll to see who it will target and I will roll again. Exactly, okay. Excellent. It gets its action points back. And let's finish it. Or not.
I can kill it probably.
Oh, you have 3 Okay, go first then.
Okay, so I will spend all the 3 action points to do +8 on the die roll.
Nice. Ooh.
7, 80, 15. It's that one, so it's 6 damage.
Nice, and it would be AoE 6 damage if we had more monsters.
So
the Dreadnought has a way.
Final blow.
Nice. So the Acidic Ooze dies, But as we said at the beginning, when it dies, we have to roll a d8 and see if it will poison its target. A 6. On even, you get poisoned.
Okay.
What that means is that technically you place a cube there to mark that we have 1 stack of poison. We could have the 3 cubes on the zeros all this time.
Yes.
What poison does is that it ticks down and does damage to the character that has it. Normally that would happen at the beginning of the next combat round, but we don't have a next combat round because the ooze is dead. So it will tick as soon as we move on to the next node. I still have my 2 dice left, but this one is to do a spell, and this one is for either barrier or ice shard, but both of those will reset at the end of combat, so they don't matter. We reset the ice shard and the barrier that you have, and now that we move on to the next node, the poison ticks down, and the character takes 1 damage for each stack of poison that you have, which is 1 damage for you now. Yes. It is pure damage, so it does not get blocked by armor or hope, and then 1 stack of the poison gets removed. So for example, if it was 3 stacks of poison, it would do 3 damage, drop down to 2, 2 damage, drop down to 1, and 1 damage, and then drop down to 0. But it was only 1 stack now, so you just got 1 damage.
Okay.
With that, we are ready to move on to the next node.
Excellent.
Before we do that, we forgot to get the XP from the monster. So it's 3 XP. So we get 3 of those and another 3 here. And 2 essence. Oh wow, I should have spent my essence earlier because I'm capped out. And that's what I'll do now, even though I don't need the focus. I will spend 1 to get 2 health, and the focus is already at max.
Okay.
And reset those. So now we are truly ready to move on. You took the poison damage.
Yes.
And yeah, we choose the next node. Now we have several choices, but for the sake of this playthrough, we will move on to the next monster. And normally we would roll a d8 and see what we get, but we want to show you as much as possible from this playthrough, so we will face an Essence Eater. Let's assume that we rolled either a 7 or an 8 on this die to get the Essence Eater against us in this combat.
Okay.
First off, it has 17 hit points. 10 and 7. Wow, that's more than double from the Acidic Ooze. We may be regretting this choice, but we'll see. It has 2 armor and 0 hope. Nice. And then 2 action points. It says here that at the beginning of each round, all heroes lose 1 focus. So we should remember that. And its spell here has the potential to take focus and do AoE, or even take an essence from us, and it can also heal for 4. Okay, that's a huge difference. Let's see if we can face that.
Okay.
Start of the round, we lose 1 focus each, and we choose the target of the Essence Eater. Oh no. Okay, but because it doesn't have ambush, we go first. Okay. That's not bad. Okay. You too. You rolled a 1. Okay. Should I?
Yes.
Cool. I spend 1 action point and 2 focus to get an ice shard. And then I spend both of my intelligence action points to do an entropic bolt with a +4.
Nice.
5 + 4 is 9. Oh, great.
Excellent.
So excellent indeed, because 9+ says that I do 4 damage, +1 is 5, and it doesn't have any hope, so that's 5. So it drops down to 12. And then I stun the target. Stun takes away 1 action point per stack of stun, so that's 1. So instead of it having 2 action points at the beginning of its turn, it will only have 1.
Excellent.
Excellent indeed. And then, because it has an asterisk, I can pay up to the level of the spell times, so 1 time now, 1 plus the hope of the enemy, which is 0, so 1 focus, to do 1 more stun, which is great. I'll do that. I'll spend 1 focus, and by the way, I get 1 focus back because I did a spell, so that goes up to 5. To stun 1 more time, which means that it doesn't have any action points to get any turns at all.
Excellent.
Okay, that's great.
Great.
So you take your turn.
I will do a dread sweep. With my 2 action points, so it's +4.
You don't roll both dice though.
Yeah. 8.
Ooh,
And 4.
12, almost.
I don't need the 13 because it's just an AoE.
It's just an AoE, right.
So I just do 6 damage.
Minus 2, that's 4. Okay, so 12 minus 4 is 8, so we remove that and drop this down to 8. Okay.
Very good.
It looked worse than it is, unless it starts healing, of course. So a new round begins. We start by losing 1 focus each, and then we have to choose the target for the Essence Eater.
Yes.
I failed earlier, so you can roll. Nice.
Yes.
It never got to attack though, so that's fine. And we roll the dice as well. Okay.
What's wrong with it is aces every time.
Do you want a different D8? We have some here.
Maybe.
Is the same D8 though every time?
Probably.
Okay, take this then. Or do you want another one?
Throw it.
We have like 20 D8s here, just in case we need to imprison some of them for rolling ones.
Yeah.
Okay, so, shall I?
Yes.
Great.
You did well.
And I'll do the same. I will spend 1 action point and 2 focus that I'm running out of focus currently, but it's fine. I feel nice doing powerful things. And I will spend both of those to do an entropic bolt. So I roll the D8. It's a 6 plus 4 because I spent 2 action points. That's 10. So again, that's 4. I spent the things, but I didn't get my ice shard earlier. So now it's 4 plus 2 is 6 damage. So it drops down to 2.
Okay.
We forgot to recharge its action points because then I don't have anything to stun.
Okay.
You know, I'll do 1 stun, and then do I trust you to finish it off?
I think so, because the minimum I can do is 4 damage.
Okay.
And it has 2 with 2 armor, so probably I will kill it.
Excellent. So I will not spend the extra focus to do the extra stun because I trust that it won't take a turn anyway.
And you get 1 focus.
Thank you.
And I will spend my 2 action points for an attack, for a dread sweep.
It doesn't matter. It's a +4.
Yes.
Nice.
It's 5, so it does
4 damage. Minus 2 is 2, and that's all we needed to finish it off.
Very easy.
Okay, this one does not have an ability that happens when it dies. It was the ability that was at the beginning of each round. So the combat is done.
Yes.
I reset my ice shard. We didn't have any barrier.
Yes.
And we get the XP. So that's 3 XP. And 3 here, so we have 8. And 2 essence each.
I don't
which,
have.
well,
Okay.
I will spend 1 essence because we keep getting capped.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. I will take 1 hit point, which I can't, and 3 focus. So that's 6 focus total. And do I want more? We'll think about it later. Not for now. The XP we will get a chance to spend when we reach the campfire up here. So you'll see how that works.
Great.
Moving on.
Yes.
In between nodes, we spent essence to do things. So now we don't have a choice. We move on to a loot chest. Up here. And roll a d8 to see what happens. An 8 again.
Again.
2 out of 2. Okay, so we can spend 2 XP to get either an armor or a hope. But now we either face rats or the final boss. So the final boss has a 50, is it 50-50 or is it more? There are more chances to get physical damage there. So I'll get an armor instead of hope this time around.
Me too.
Okay. And these 2 choices are both rats, so it doesn't matter where we move, I guess. Let's go middle. Okay, so let's see how many rats we spawn. It's the same again here. You destroyed the whole thing, but only rolled 2 rats, so...
Let's stay there.
It's fine.
Okay.
Okay, these 2 rats, they have 3 hit points each and 1 action point each. And they ambush us, so first we need to see who they target. Left one, A
Me?
3. Not this.
Me again.
Oh, nice. Oh, we need another cube. So they both attack with the 1 action point they have for the ambush.
Okay.
With a 3, you get 1 damage. And for the right one, 8. An 8, an 8 is not always good, you see. So the 8 does 1 poison stack and 2 piercing damage. Wow, you got bit there hard. You need to go to the ER. Okay, so that's the ambush done. Ready to begin the first combat round. So we need to determine the targets for the combat round again. Should I do that?
Yes.
A 1, so that's you. And the 7, so that's you again.
Okay.
They get their action points back, and we roll the dice. You also take the poison damage when the combat starts, when the new round of combat starts.
Okay.
So, yeah. Do you want to go first, or should I, as always?
You can go.
Okay. 1 action point and 2 focus for 1 ice shard. I don't remember if I took the focus back for my spell earlier, but it doesn't matter. And then...
I think you did.
The second time as well? Okay. And then I'll spend 1 intelligence action point to do an ice nova this time, because the AoE is nice with the rats. So I roll. A 2. Ooh, that was close. So that's 1 plus 1, 2 damage. And again, I forgot to pick a target, but they do target the same person, so it doesn't matter. Let's say it's this one. So that's 2 minus 1, 1 damage for me. Not that great, but...
You give your focus back?
Thank you. I keep forgetting that.
Yes.
And... you're maximum focus though. Okay.
And then, for me, I think I will try to do a dread sweep. What with that?
It doesn't matter, but...
7. Okay. It goes here, so it does 4 damage.
Okay.
I didn't pick a target. Let's go.
You had a chance to not kill this one though.
Yes, so I will go with the left one.
Yeah. That's 0. But we have to roll to see if it responds.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. No response.
Great. So this is taken out.
Okay.
And then
The
other one attacks because we both took a turn.
Yes.
Yes? Okay. And then it spends 1 action point. I roll a d8. A 5 is 1 damage.
Okay. I don't hear barrier, so it's 1 damage. I haven't spent focus.
Yeah, that's an option maybe though. But you didn't need it so far.
Yes.
Okay. So now we keep taking turns because the rat does not have any more action points. I will spend my 1 agility here to do to get back 1 focus.
Okay. And I have 2 twos, and I can do the scrap damage. So it's 1 damage and another 1, 2 damage.
Nice. Okay.
And that's it.
A new round begins. We pick a target for the rat. 7. Nice, it stays on you.
Yes.
And then we roll our dice. I rolled a 1. Do you have anything great?
Yes, I have a strong attack.
Okay.
Shall I?
Yes.
Okay. So those 2 action points. Attack with a dead sweep. 5 plus 4, 9. It's 6 damage.
There is no sign of the rat left. We still have to roll though, because you never know.
Yes.
I'll do this. I can do this. I told you I can do this.
Excellent.
Nice. So this goes away and the combat is over. Resetting the ice shards. We could technically spend those though. Wait.
Yes, mine is for only intelligence to get barriers, so
No point.
no point.
I can spend my agility to get 1 more focus. So
Okay.
why not? And then reset the shard, reset the barrier, take the XP. So that's 2 XP. another 2 here, and 1 essence. And the next node is a Campfire, so we can heal for 3 essence without spending the essence.
Yes.
So, we don't do anything in between nodes, we move on to the Campfire. The Campfire is a great rest before the final boss. We can heal for 3 essence without spending the essence, so I will max out my focus.
I will max out my hit points.
Nice. And we can also spend our XP to level up our abilities. The choices we have for that is to either spend 5 XP and level up one of our main abilities down here, or spend 9 XP to improve the chances of our dice and change the values that correspond to each attribute. I don't have 9 XP, you don't have either, so we start with 8 XP, so I will spend 5 of those, go down to 3, to improve one of my abilities down here. I'm guessing that the Sludge Lord is a single target boss.
Yes.
It has a chance to spawn rats, but I'd rather go for the single target spell though anyway. So this goes up to level 2. So these are not relevant anymore. I will look at this column now for the damage of the spell, and I will do more stun if I do this ability, because I can pay up to 2 focus now, plus the hope of the boss, whatever it is, to do 2 stun. So that seems powerful.
I will do the same for the Dread Sweep.
Okay.
I didn't play a lot with the barrier, so I'll get that.
Great. So we have healed, we have leveled up, and we are ready, maybe, to face the Sludge Lord.
Okay.
Okay, moving on to the last node, and the final boss is the Sludge Lord. Okay. It has 28 hit points, 1 armor, 1 hope, 3 action points, and then various abilities. We will see what happens with them. It has a chance to poison and stun, it has a chance to poison down there, and to spawn rats.
Yes, and a lot of damage.
Both magical and physical damage.
Yes.
Okay, beginning of the combat round, because it doesn't have ambush, we have to roll to see which target it has.
Okay.
It doesn't have a special ability, not when it dies, not during the combat, so we don't have to keep in mind anything special. Let's roll.
A 6.
So that's
you.
me.
Yes.
Get a cube. Nice. And we roll our own dice. Good luck, fellow adventurer.
Okay, at least not once.
Yeah, me neither. Okay. Wow, you have a nice even distribution. Do you want to go first, or?
I don't mind.
Okay. I will use 1 action point and 2 focus to get 1 ice shard. Okay. And then use both my intelligence action points to do an entropic bolt with +4.
Okay, let's
see
go.
if we get some stun through. Ooh, yes. So that's 12. With 12, I do 5 damage now that it's level 2, plus 1, 6.
Minus 1.
So that's 5.
So let's go 23.
I stun immediately for 1 action point. And then with the asterisk, with the kicker, I can pay up to the spell's level time, so 2 times. 2 hope, because it's 1 plus 1 from the Sludge Lord, 2 focus, to do 1 stun per level that I spent. So I can spend up to 4 focus to get rid of the 2 action points.
Okay.
I'll do that.
Okay.
So I drop down to 2, but then I get 1 back because I did a spell.
Yes.
Okay, so it won't take a turn.
Yes.
I will run out of focus, but it's fine.
Okay. I will kill it. First of all, let's do the scrap damage. It's 1 damage. I will do the Dread Sweep with 1 action point.
That's normally 1 turn each, but no one else has action points, so...
Let's go high. 6. Okay, 6 is between here, so I cannot upgrade it, doesn't matter. So it's 6 damage, minus 1, 5. So let's go from 22 to 17.
Nice.
Okay, and then I will roll for a plate bound to get some barrier. It's 3. It's between. Okay, I get 3 barrier.
Nice.
Excellent.
The Dreadnought's focus ability is to spend focus to increase the die value by 1.
Yes.
So technically, what did you roll?
A 3 for the plate bound and 6 on the dread sweep.
So you could spend 3 focus to get it up to 9 and get 9 damage in. If you want to.
Sure.
Baiting people into spending all their focus.
Okay.
You get focus when you get damaged,
Yes.
so why not?
I won't.
It will target me again, I'm guessing.
It's the plan. Okay.
So it's down to 14?
Yes.
Okay.
Halfway.
Not much of a lord, are we? Excellent. New combat round begins. It replenishes its action points, and we choose a target by rolling a die.
See you again?
Where do you even get the barrier?
I don't know.
Well, roll your dice.
Okay. I have a dread sweep with +8.
Go for it.
I can do 9 damage. Okay.
15.
15. It's here, nothing extra. It's AoE.
Yeah.
So it's 9 damage.
9.
So it's 14. Goes to 5.
And now I go. Okay, I have choices here, but I think I'll go for one big hit with all 3. They can all be assigned to the intelligence, so I spend all 3 of those for a +8 entropic bolt.
Okay.
So that's 15, that's definitely 9 plus. So I do 5 plus 1, 6, minus 1, 5 damage.
Well, yes, but I forgot to...
Reduce the armor.
Yes. Okay, so it has
1 hit point left.
2 hit point left because I forgot it 2 times, the previous round and that round. So it has 2 hit points left.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay. Not with the additional 3 here, the previous round.
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
So I did 5 damage, but it dropped down to 2 instead of 0.
Yes.
I celebrated too early, but we both have spent all our action points. You as well.
Yes.
And it now gets a turn, and it has 3 action points, and we have to determine... Yes. We have to determine how many of those it will spend.
Yes.
So we have to roll a die. Let's say on the 6-sided die, a 1 and a 2 is 1 action point, a 3 and a 4 is 2 action points, and a 5 and a 6 is 3 action points.
Yes.
Shall I? A 5. Whoops. So it spends all its action points.
Yes.
And it does its ability with a +8. I do roll.
Yes.
Let's see. Is there a possibility that I can die?
I don't know, maybe.
No, it doesn't do a lot of damage, I don't think. Let's find out. So that's a 12.
12.
So I get a stack of poison.
Yes. 4 magic damage.
4 magic damage is 2 for me.
Yes.
And that's it.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, that's great. So a new combat round begins. Roll for the target and replenish the action points.
You again?
I can see a pattern here. Okay, so it only has 2 hit points now?
Yes, I rolled 2 once, so
Oh,
you can go.
I mean, it's not that epic to finish it off like that, so I should indeed go. I have 3 here for an entropic bolt. I think because I thought it was going to die, I forgot to do the stun.
True.
Let's say it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, yes.
Okay.
It's okay.
Because, yeah, normally I should have stunned it, but I celebrated because I thought it was dead and then it wasn't, so I forgot to apply the stun. It's fine. Let's move on and do an entropic bolt with a +8 again.
Okay.
I'm guessing it's this time.
Yes.
It is dead. I'm 5 plus 1, 6, minus 1 is 5. So that's the Sludge Lord turned into a sludge without the Lord.
Excellent.
Okay, that was it. That was a whole run of the sewers. Of course, that's one of the easy runs that come with the game. They do level up as your characters level up as well. And I think we pretty much showed everything that is included within the run, apart from the unknown locations that technically you just roll a d8 and see what comes up. And even though we don't keep going, we just finish the run here, we should get 5 more XP that would bring us up to 17, and we would level up, because if you have 15 XP, you level up, and when you level up, you get an additional die to roll every time you roll dice, and you can get max hit points, max focus, or focus, and these are cumulative. So you get the die and either 1 health or 1 focus, and either 1 health or 1 focus, and 1 focus. So that would be nice if we were to move on to the next level of runs, but we won't, so there's no reason to do that. And we would also get 3 essence.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice, yes.
That was great. We hope you enjoyed the run. We hope we didn't do any mistakes. If we did, I will make sure to put them in the first comment or in the description. If I find out early enough, I may put pop-up notes while we play. In any case, most of it should be correct, if not everything. And yeah, as I said at the beginning, Essence the Grim Expeditions is up on Gamefound. It will be up for a late pledge, so if you like the game, you can check it out, follow the campaign, and make sure you get the updates so that you can get your own game and go adventuring.
Very good.
Good game.
Good game.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching. And yeah, if you like the video, leave a thumbs up before you go, subscribe for more videos like this, and we hope to see you in the next one. Until then, bye.
Bye.